Last month, my sale was close to 18 crores.
Today, Amish has built a 250 crore business around that.
Initially, I started a business in Hyderabad from scratch for two-wheeler automobile spare part distribution. But for me, I believe in philosophy of Ratan Tata ji. Flipkart was able to capture close to 1,25,000 new customers on their platform because of this program, who want to buy a phone with no display changed. The originality of the display should not be tampered.
So now that you buy it from Flipkart,
Yes.
and what do you do with them?
We export it
Where do
because there's a requirement of Indian specs in global market.
So what is the refurbishing cost here?
Refurbishing cost is very much higher. Last month number was close to, it was a bleak month, but still we did some 30,000 phones. So we want to make IT affordable for everyone. No businesses can be built without a good team.
So, how many of you use smartphones, laptops, computers? So, how many of you use until it stops working? Very rare, right? Mostly as soon as we see a new brand, a new variant, new version available, we upgrade, right? So what happens to the one I was using? Some people, we just throw it away, we keep it at home, or we give it for no price, or some people buy it. So what happens to all of them? Today, Amish has built a 250 crore business around that. They buy all our used gadgets, laptops, mobiles, computers, and they refurbish them and they sell it back. And around that, he has built an amazing ecosystem. Today, he has set up an institute to train those technicians to repair mobile phones. Right? So we're going to learn how he does that, because it's a very operationally heavy business. It's not easy to build something like that. So Amish, first of all, thank you so much. Amish had a plan to visit Delhi. When I called him, I requested him. He postponed his trip to Monday, and he's with us today. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, thank you, Sudhir. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. So I would just like to say something before I start this session. I'm not a person who speaks in public much, because I've been able to build this because I'm only focused on my work till date. So this is my first time, and I know Sudhir also. And Sudhir said that we will just
No, he
like
told
to
me
hear.
this 5 times.
Yeah.
He told me this 5 times, saying, I am not used to public speaking. Hence, it is the first time I'm going to be speaking in the public. But what is important here is, I think that's how a real entrepreneur is, right? He doesn't care about what people say or where we have to go speak. You just build your business, put your head down and do that. That's what he has done.
So one more, feather to be added on the sentence from Sudhir. When I got to know that this gathering is all about people trying to build something in the ecosystem. They want to see how they can build what they are thinking and how they can, reach their milestones. That is where, I thought that if I can speak something the way I have walked in the journey till date, though it is not complete, it is still a longer journey for me. And I thought that if I can speak something and people can grab out of that, and if they can take a decision, if it helps them to grow better, that is going to be something, a contribution from my side to you all. So thank you all. I would like to introduce myself first. So I'm Amish Majithia. So I would like to say one good experience when I came to Hyderabad, all thanks to my elder brother, who is also a part of this journey, Mitesh. I see him as a mentor in the game, because he taught me how to work as a team and how to create a good work environment and a corporate culture. Okay? So Mitesh was there in TCS in Hyderabad, and we two brothers decided that let's do some business here. So first day I came to Hyderabad, because we are from a very, not that big family with big money. we came from a very small family background, where we have seen our forefathers working very hard, with honesty, and they have created livelihood for us, and we have grown to this level. Thanks to them, I would, sincere gratitude to them that they have given us a learning lesson about the honesty and trust, on which all our pillars are there in the game as on today. So the first day, I came to Hyderabad by Falaknama Express. My train landed at, 5 p.m. in the evening, and evening 9 p.m. I had a major road accident, and it was in Minister Road, where initially it was Deccan Continental Hotel. Now it is Kim's Hospital. So I was under IICU. I was told by doctor was told to my brother that we have to wait for another 8 hours to 9 hours whether he's going to be surviving or he's gone. So thanks to God, and I was survived. Next day morning, I was able to see my brother's face coming from Mandir with breakfast for me and some prasadam. And then I had a fracture. So I was engaged. And I was told all the full
Was this which year?
This was 1998. So everybody in Kolkata started saying, no, Hyderabad is unlucky for you. You should not stay there. Come back. We will arrange the money for flight and you should fly back. Then I took a firm decision that day that even after a major accident, which was a life-threatening, and I am saved, so this city has something for me, so I'll do business here only.
This is what we learned in the shark story, right?
Yeah, so think positive, okay? And second thing, before starting the session, I would like to say that whatever business I have built today in re-commerce is not by choice. Generally, I have been listening to many people, and in Shark Tanks also, that people build businesses because they think something and they try to build the ecosystem and they try to write a success story. But for me, I believe in philosophy of Ratan Tata ji. I take decision and then make it right. I don't take right or wrong decision. So the same thing happened, Initially, I started a business in Hyderabad from scratch for two-wheeler automobile spare part distribution, and that was going very well. And then my brother is from, investment background. So he one day came and said, Amish, why not we build something, this repair and refurbish? Then I told him, क्या यार, कुछ नहीं तो अब कबाड़ी का धंधा करना है अपने को. 98. Nobody knew that this is going to happen. So he said, नहीं, तुम ऐसा सोच रहे हो, मैं इसको स्टार्ट करता हूँ. तुम मतलब मिलो, कंपनी में आते जाते रहो और तुम देखो क्या चल रहा है, how it is happening, how things are going. Then also, I started taking participation from day one only. But at that time, the company name itself was, thought Sloyd. Sloyd has a very deep meaning, which I am able to understand after 2 to 3 years when I started, when I pivoted the model and changed the company model entirely to repair and refurbishment. Sloyd is basically a technique used for precise wood engineering. It's a technique. So we have named Sloyd by keeping in mind that we are going to deal into repair and refurbishment of mobile. So we need a better technology, better, techniques with the people who can do this. So at that time, our target was to build a franchisee conglomerate. I heard someone from Nellore said recently, that franchisee is not that cakewalk. And that happened with us also, because we had a model initially that we will open a franchise. First, we open our own store where we want people to come and give their used gadgets, smart TVs or phones or desktops and laptops. And then we have made a software. We will, configure their damages and come out with a repair estimate. And then after repair, we will consign the project on the product on the store. And when it gets sold, we will take a commission and we'll add a value to our customer, both the customers. But I remember that in 1998, 2001 till 2 also, there was no Aadhaar card. So security was a challenge. So consigning a project is also a threat, You don't know who is somebody theft and keeping in the store. You are in toss. People will come and catch you. So still we fight it, at that point of time. We did some arrangement with cyber crime and all to check the IME numbers, serial numbers. Still tried doing it, but it was not going, it was not flying at all. Then 2015 was the time, November I remember that internally we set and strategized that even after working for 3 years, we have not been able to create a footprint also of the company. And we are still thinking that we are doing something and we are on the path to crack something. Then the business idea was changed that let's come into a product play first, then a service play, and then a buyback play. This re-commerce is all about product play, buyback play, and service play. So then we changed our thought and we said that let's start this. So starting this business is very difficult, because inventory, this is a supply constrained market. You can't get this inventory by your own initially. Okay, so you have to do a tie-ups with giants like Flipkart, Amazon, where they run exchange programs. They do buyback programs, and then you get an inventory from them. So they are the major aggregators in the market right now. At that point of time also. So initially it was a category, where people used to buy a new phone and they used to give it back because the return policy was of 30 days. And then people in India, we know very well, we take advantage of situation. We buy a product today and after 15 days or 30 days, if there's some festival discount, we give XYZ reason and we return the stock to that is where the e-commerce was bleeding in India. That was the reason, okay? So thanks to that, that Indian customers, because of that, this business got an opportunity and people are, now we are able to build a big ecosystem around it. So we have been, dealing with this category with Flipkart. So we thought that let's become their liquidation partner first, where they see value in us and they try to work closely with us and mature this market with the expectation of customer. So we started dealing with Flipkart first, where, we became their liquidation partner. And after, dealing with them in this category, we were the person who told them that now, why don't you start taking a used phone from the customers when they are buying a new phone. That is where Flipkart, started this with us, and we used to buy their phones, used phones also. Because Flipkart was also very worried, For them, this was a used phone or a return journey is a liquidation game at that point of time. Because they were worried, if we buy this much of big inventory, if the big inflow is there, how do we do liquidation and cash the value? So that is where we expertise ourselves in liquidating the pan-India and finding out the pockets where the second-hand market is. So when we are doing this legwork, we came to know that this is a very tough nut to crack, because we were the first few players in the India, 4 or 5, who are having an organized approach to capture this market in the unorganized sector. So the sector was 95% organized at that point of time and 5% organized, that too thanks to Cashify, who is in this segment from a long time. as a peer partner, I have a high respect to Cashify also, because they have been also contributing great values, for the customer. So at that point of time, it was very tough for us, and we started thinking that how we should go in an organized approach, because there's a lot of unhealthy competitions going on in the market. How do we crack this? How do we take a stand of a liquidation partner? Then there we thought that let's come out with a game that we should play first B2B, that is business to business in bulk. So we started, taking quantities from Flipkart, and we started catering to the big partners who has a good understanding, who knows this business in an organized sector, where we train them to become little bit organized, open a bank account, open a a proprietorship firm where you can deal with us, we raise your invoice. We made them understand, because they were making money, but they didn't knew that they didn't knew how to approach Flipkart, because Flipkart doesn't allow, or Amazon doesn't allow, if the KYC of the customer is not proper, if they are not having a proper compliance structure or the VAT number or TIN number. So that is where we found opportunity in B2B, and we started teaching customer, Trust me, when we started this game in 2004, I had a customer from Kerala who came with 1 crore rupees cash, and he took a stock from me.
Wow.
So we took a stand that B2B also will not scale up until and unless we don't create a pocket and we don't pick and choose a B2B customer and train them to come with a licensed, organization, so that, things become easier and business can go faster. So we not only took a stand as a liquidation partner in B2B for Flipkart and Amazon, but we created an ecosystem and a training program, and we had hired a finance team with one person in finance team only dealing with customer and making them understand how to take a VAT license and how to open a company and how to create a bank account and how to run the show and how to file a VAT. So this also helped us to create, trust in the ecosystem, that yes, Sloyd is not here to only do business. They are also helping us out how to pave the way and grow organically in the system. So this was the first phase, of B2B. But unfortunately, we can't leave that phase, because once you do bigger numbers, and since in a supply constrained market, you have to keep on playing, because inventory is a challenge. And as a top aggregator, if you are in their list, then you don't have a challenge for inventory in a supply constraint.
But how did you, just to take a step back, when you decided to get into this business of re-commerce, how did you validate whether there is enough market for it, whether this will work, whether people will buy from you the refurbished ones?
Yeah.
How did you validate that?
So, as I told you, when we did the footwork, we will able to understand that this market is going very good and people are making money in unorganized market.
Okay.
That is where we thought that now Flipkart and Amazon, we understood that they will do a buyback program, and they are taking return stocks, and they need a partner like us. So we found a huge opportunity there also.
But why did you decide to buy from Flipkart, Amazon kind of companies directly? Why not to buy from people directly through smaller mobile shops and all that?
Yeah. So smaller mobile shops and all, as I told you, that there was security was a challenge. In unorganized market, we got to know that, every third day or fourth day in the main markets where second-hand phone gets dealt, you will find a recovery van.
Wow.
People are getting pulled, because you find that theft phones are there. So that was the main reason, we thought that, and Cashify, and learning from the peer also. He has been burning a lot of money,
But I think this is a very important point. Just to hold that thought there, in the business model design, this is what we learned, right? He decided to start re-commerce business, refurbishing, purchasing back old phones and refurbishing them. But if you would have purchased them from smaller mobile shops, there's a high risk of lot of issues, legal issues. But when you purchase it from Amazon, Flipkart in bulk,
yes,
they take care of that. That burden is on them now, right?
Yes.
Very important.
Very important. And secondly, Indian customers at that point of time was not getting that maturity, to give it to someone who is just doing and marketing and digital marketing and everything and saying that we are here to buy your phones. They don't entertain. That is where our peer partner has burnt a lot of money.
Cashify has burned a lot of money. Yeah?
Yes. But now today, they've been able to, take a stand in the market in B2C, directly D2C, direct to customer. They are opening their stores, which we has opened this model initially, but we were also not success at that point of time. So we took this way because we see that in this supply constraint, my reading said that if I take a top aggregator stand with Flipkart, Amazon, and recently, thanks to Reliance that they have seen our performance, that they've invited us to become their buyback partner for all their chain of retail stores in entire South India. So taking a stand of a aggregator, because India is a place, where जो दिखता है वही बिकता है. I believe that. और जो करता है उसी के पास लोग आते हैं. So somehow I felt that, okay, this is a time if we have to take a stand in front of them, we should do a bulk volume and release them from their pain. That is where we'll be able to create a value for our system and our organization. So that is when we took a stand, we did a good B2B numbers with them, and then we were on a stand, that we run one more specific program. One fine day, my team was sitting, and we are saying that, okay, in used phones also, the phones are coming, but not coming to that extent at that point of time. So we suggested Flipkart after understanding that the smartphone market was growing very well. So we thought that everybody is changing phone, and that much phone is not coming back to market. So it is sitting inside the drawer of every family. They're not using it, or they're just keeping it aside. So we told Flipkart to run a program called Any Other Smartphone, AOS. So AOS is the category which was developed, and we told Flipkart that you run this program, and we will buy this at X price, and you can buy it at any price, whatever you want to give to your customer, because brand also plays a major role to give a brand sweetener. So that program was also success, and Flipkart was able to capture close to 125,000 new customers on their platform because of this program.
Wow. Can you explain that program a bit more?
Yeah. So this Any Other Smartphone, see, people used to initially just, what people used to do, if they buy new phone, they will return it, or if they buy new phone, they will give their used phone, and that used phone is their smartphone. But there were some understanding where we did a research a little bit. We got to know that the same level of phones are not given back by the people who are buying new phones or smartphones. Okay, so there we got to know that there might be some phones, with 2G and all, when 2G was there, 2G and all will be there in the desk. People don't use it because we saw it from our side also, that being we in the system and we as a family, we found that our house is having 3 to 4 phones. So we said, why not unlocking those values also, bringing it back from the customer and giving a Flipkart a chance to onboard those customers who has those phones. If they see an ad of Flipkart that any smartphone is being taken back by...
But isn't it a heavy risk? Because see, someone who's now, selling this old phone, he's actually upgrading to a new phone, a latest version.
Yeah.
Now, are you not taking a big challenge of procuring that old phone, refurbishing it, and hoping to sell? Because it may be a big challenge. What if people don't buy that?
No, see, that is what, See, if I tell you that everything gets sold in India with a price point, right? If the price point is correct and you are able to add a little bit of more extra value, people will grab it. Even if they don't want to use it, they will grab it. That is the mentality in India. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you are 100% right?
Yeah.
What do you say? Yeah?
Yeah.
At a price point, yeah.
So, when we saw that this price point is there, and what we thought, this phones, when we will sell it in market, this will cater to which area? Every people, if they have a helper in a home, or every people who have a driver who's driving their car, they will try to give such phones to their people. And in construction site also, many laborers are working and they will give a phone to them also. Still 40 crore people are there,
They're using feature phones.
They are using feature phones.
Wow. Okay, but tell me something. Now, you buy these phones from Flipkart, Amazon kind of aggregators. You refurbish them. You go through a process.
Yeah.
Now, where do you sell these phones? How do you sell them?
See, initially, we had again, since this is a volume business, so capital efficiency also has to be taken care. So what we did, we baked it into 3 channels: bulk, B2B, and B2C. Bulk and B2B we did offline, and B2C business to customer, direct to customer with online only. We were a big seller in
You
eBay.
sell it on Flipkart?
eBay.
eBay.
Yeah. And then Amazon started a program called Renewed. So we were the top seller with a customer rating of 4.5 to 4.3 every time. And we have been winning the award in terms of quality from last 3 years from Amazon. Amazon recently have stopped the program because they were not able to put a railguards in terms of quality with other sellers. They were not able to, other sellers were not able to give quality, and their motto was just to sell the stock. But our motto from day one is to give quality. See, if more used phones are getting sold, the lesser are the new phones getting sold, right? And today's trajectory is saying that every year and year, new phones versus refurb phones, if we see, refurb phones is getting sold 1.5 to 2% extra than used phone. The growth is more every year. Okay. So how we thought this, because if we penetrate the used phones with better quality and warranty, people will not buy new phones, right? And that is where the e-waste is getting control in the system, entire ecosystem.
So now let's say now a 2-year-old iPhone, you buy iPhone also, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's say a 2-year-old iPhone. Now the current new price for that iPhone is, let's say 50,000 rupee.
Yeah.
What price do you buy that? A 2-year-old iPhone, what price do you buy that?
See, we basically buy with a difference of, it depends upon grade also. If you are giving a full refurb, if we are selling a full refurb phone in which we have to refurb completely, we buy at a rate of 40%. And we see that there's a difference of 35% minimum when we refurb and sell them back to the market.
So now a 50,000 rupee phone, you buy it at 20,000 rupees.
Yes.
You buy it at 20,000.
Yeah.
And then you refurb.
Yes.
And then you sell it at what price?
50,000, we have to maintain a ratio of 35% less only. 50,000 minus 35,000 is how much?
35%? About good 10,000 rupee profit. You
Yes.
sell it at about 30,000 rupee.
Yeah.
So what is the refurbishing cost here?
Refurbishing cost is, very much higher because we have been dealing everything. We believe in technology also, because anything, if you want to scale, if you don't have a better technology, you can't scale it. So we have built a system where a smartphone can be checked and a health certificate can be given within 4 minutes with few yes, no by the team. If the IME is punched, then the 37 major functional checks, health certificate will come. For each and every phone, we do that health check.
So how much it costs to do that refurbishing after that?
So refurbishing takes, if it is changing LCDs and all, it may go till 7,000 to 8,000 in terms of iPhone. So we don't.
So you mentioned about this grading. So what do you mean by full refurb grade means what?
Grading means, see, full refurb is, there are customers, who want to buy a phone with no display changed. The originality of the display should not be tampered. And there are customers who are ready to buy with a display change phone also, with better quality of display. So in that terms, we grade the phones where the originality is there and the phone is scratchless when we buy, then we name it as a A1 grade. Then we have A grade, then B grade, then C grade.
But isn't it a very capital intensive business that if you have to buy so many smartphones, you have to spend so much of money, right?
Yes, I agree that. One has to take initiative. The first objective was to reduce the e-waste. And second objective of doing this business is to, become a bridge to a digital divide era right now. India is growing digitally very fast. So we want to make IT affordable for everyone. The second reason was this. And third reason is tier 2, tier 3 and tier 4 cities, we want to make people get their aspirational brands at a discounted price.
Understood.
So one has to take a pain, right?
Understood.
If even if it is a capital intensive, and if it is kicking you, and if you're creating value for everyone, one has to do it, right?
Yeah.
Whether it is capital intensive or not. I believe that.
Absolutely. So now, if I'm making a new smartphone, let's say now any Samsung phone or iPhone or anything, every new variant, every version of it will have a same uniform pricing. But in your case, it's not true. Because same version phone, let's say now iPhone 15, if there are 5 different iPhone 15 with you, all 5 may be having a different price tag because some are aged 2 years, some are aged only 18 months, some are 12 months old, some are 36 months old, and some are in good condition, some are may not be in good condition. So how do you price them? Because how many phones do you buy and sell every month now?
Every month, last month number was close to, it was a bleak month, but still we did some 30,000 phones.
30,000 phones. So how do you price these 30,000 phones?
So till now, we were facing a challenge to make this pricing through IT. Till now, we have been doing manually only. We have expertise now, after a lot of time given to this business, that how to buy a lot at what grade and how to average out the pricing. So we try, our grades are standard. If it is a A grade, even if it is a 2-year-old phone or 1-year-old phone, we will sell it based on grade only.
Okay, not based on the age of the phone.
No. We'll sell it on the base of, because see, Apple, if you talk particularly about Apple, Apple till today, people are craving to buy iPhone 6 also. But in terms of Android, Android, we pull those models only. When we buy, we have to buy those models only. We get a mix of those models only, which are there in trend. And some absolutes are there, which we have to, do it for dismantling and spare harvesting.
Okay, that's interesting. So what do you do with that?
Yeah, so few phones we pick it up for ourselves. We keep for ourselves. We do a dismantling of the spare part because that models, some spare parts are common for other phones also. So we use them and extract the value. And the other phones, there are market, like Jagdish Market in Hyderabad. There people buy those phones and they, simply take out everything at IC level, and few boards the training institutes also takes to teach on training part also. So there's a lot of, connectivity, integrated approach is there in this business. It is, when I started this, I never knew that this is going to be a this much depth business.
So now out of these 30,000 phones which you sell every month, how many are sold on B2C channels and how many are sold on B2B channels?
See, B2C, we have started focusing with Amazon, but Amazon has shut down recently because Flipkart also started Too Good platform. We were seller there also. They also shut down. Now they all are, trying to put a better railguard and better processes, because for them this is becoming a threat because customer is putting a wrong rating on their website, and they are customer oriented platform only. For them, customer is king. So now we have also stopped for B2C. We don't want to run our own platform because we think that, doing B2C on our platform where Flipkart and Amazon, who has a customer traffic, they are not able to do, we should not step on that part. So we are staying in their good books, to become their seller in future also when they start again. But now we are focusing B2R first, business to retail. We have taken a shift where we have an app which goes to a market with a legwork, and then thanks to digital marketing these days, a lot of YouTube blogging is happening, and then the customers are calling, and then telecaller is taking a call with all the leads.
So these retailers buy from you.
Yes.
Wonderful. And I mean, so many players in the market. Like, just imagine, there's so many players in the supply chain now. Someone wants to sell a phone and, probably exchange his phone just to help you all understand how he has designed his business model, right? Now, I want to I want to upgrade my iPhone. Now from, let's say, iPhone 11 to 15 or whatever the latest version is. Now I go to Amazon. I give this phone. Amazon says some price.
Yes.
Now Amazon has got a guidance from you what price to buy. Isn't it?
Yes.
Now that price, Amazon may be purchasing my iPhone 11 for, let's say, 20,000. but you may pay only 10,000 to Amazon because that another 10,000 is compensated by Apple or maybe
Yes,
Amazon.
brand sweetener. We call it as brand sweetener.
Brand
Brand sweetener is playing a major.
Getting it
and
right?
brand loyalty program is also there. What does Samsung says that if a customer is giving a Samsung phone and buying again a Samsung phone, then please pay 500 rupees extra, not 1,000 rupees only. That's a brand loyalty program, customer loyalty program.
Getting it right. So business model design, when you think about the business model design, here you see the interesting part. A phone which customer is selling for 20,000, he may be getting it from aggregators like Flipkart, Amazon for just 10,000 rupee. So which means now he can sell the same phone back to some other customer for 20,000 only, right?
Yes, yes,
After
yes.
refurbishing, because
Yes.
he has got that extra money to do that. Very interesting.
Yes. And refurbishing also, see, this market, the day one after playing B2B for 2 to 3 years, we understood the landscape of the market that this market people will only win whoever takes a stand in terms of quality and trust factor cultivated. That is where, we learned that, and we started in B2B also. I'll give you an example. In B2B also, what happened? People used to come from Chennai or Kerala side, Cochin. They used to come stay here for 2 to 3 days, and they used to, negotiate for 1 to 2% in the pricing. And I used to see that, there's a lot of argument going on. Every time this has become a tension, that customer is coming with the money and 2% is creating a lot of hassle. And we are also not in a gap to give that 2%. Then one fine day, I thought that let me do some trust marketing here where we are good at. So what I did, I took few customers who are loyal, who always buys product and give first priority to Sloyd as a partner. So I told them, give me an understanding when you 3 people come to buy a phone to Hyderabad, to my place from Cochin to here, how much do you spend? They said that 3 days, 3 partners, we come by flight, because phone is a big volume business. People say, okay, I just go, I'm getting good deal, I'll buy it. So they said that we are closely spending 1.5 lakh rupee. I said, what if I give you the same dispatch, what you're taking and seeing and taking here, and you don't have to come and you're saving this 1.5 lakh rupee? He said, it's good. Then I said, okay. Now after this 1.5 lakh rupee, if I get you more margin by sitting there, will you share a margin with me? 50%. They said, yes. Whatever price we are buying from you, you are giving at that rate. And apart from that, if I'm making more margin, I'll definitely share a profit with you. Then I said, okay, what 1,50,000 you are earning, please keep it with yourself. Don't share with me. That is my process. My company is responsible to give you dispatch. So we created a camera packing room where, all the packing goes under a camera video recording. So the customer is being given a very mandate that and we give photos of all dispatch cartoons with seal and everything. We created a process and customer were happy. Then after 3 months, till 3 months they didn't came. And after 3 months, I invited them once again. I said, boss, good. After 3 months, you have saved close to 4.5 lakh rupee now. Now tell me genuinely, when these 3 days, when we are coming to Hyderabad, how much sales you were doing for these 3 days?
Yeah.
They said that I was doing a sales also. So I want a profit out of the sales only. I told them. And literally, customer gave us the profit, for 1 or 2 times. Then I stopped that. Don't give me. I just wanted to check. So we believe in creating values like this, right? This is not a business की 100 रुपया में लिया और कोई bargain किया और उसको 5 रुपया कम कर दिया और बेच दिया. वैसे value create करने में हम believe नहीं करते. We try to create value by making people understand where they are losing, where they should focus, and how that focus can, do a win-win situation for both parties. So this is one of the example we did in B2B. And we got a good success, And as on today, last month my sale was close to 18 crores and not a single customer on floor.
Okay.
No single visit of the customers on the floor. All on trust.
Superb. They trust you so much.
Yes.
18 crore rupee in a month. Brilliant. But tell me something. Now, how do you handle these customer complaints? First of all, it's a refurbished phone. New phones only, we will have so many complaints. Refurbished phone, now, after purchasing, customer come up with, too many complaints, whatever complaints it is. How do you manage that? Do you handle the complaints? Do you give any warranty to these phones? How do you manage all that?
See, in B2B, we don't give warranties. There's a checking warranty only for 4 to 5 days. But in B2C, yes, when we are playing with Amazon and Flipkart, we give 6 months warranty. Okay. So now again, there's a story behind this question also. What Sudhir is asking. Amazon team and Flipkart team is literally shocked to see that our customer return is only 25%, where their customer return and other seller customer return is 40%. So our ecosystem, by default from day one when we started the process, the finished goods which goes outside goes with a thorough check so that we don't get customer complaint, is embedded in the system very thoroughly. So by default, our processes itself take care that we don't have bounce back ratio much. And whatever comes also, the due to defect, we have only due to defect returns are 1.5% only. And that is what, Flipkart and Amazon comes and see our facility, that what we are doing and how we are doing.
Very nice. Very nice. This is a very capital intensive business. Did you take, how did you fund it? Is it all self-funded through you and brother, or is it like...
Yeah, by the grace of God, as on today, we are self-bootstrapped only. There's a reason behind this also. Generally, people in startup, they want to build something. And then they do something small, and then they go for a funding round where they have to dilute their equity too, right? And I'm a strong believer that if I am hustling for 18 to 22 hours a day in a business, day in, day out, why not I retain my equity value first? And why not I prove myself with all the concepts, and then I go on an investor table and take a check from him where, I get a value to my equity too. This is my thought process.
Great, great. So you said about this, Mitesh gave you this idea, your brother, to start this business.
Yes.
But how did you develop that boss mindset that this is how I have to operate the business? Because you are the one who are running the business from the front. Mitesh, how did you develop that boss mindset? Because all alone running the business.
Yeah, so this is again, I'll be very clear, and very simple language में बोले तो, we are Gujaratis, our business blood में है. So please, we have been, my college days also, I was so ambitious, कि I used to pay my college fees by doing multiple businesses at that point of time also.
Wow.
Okay. So that boss mind is not about, yes, there was a change in boss mind. Initially, when I was still automobile, it was a boss mind. ये होना है, तो होना है. ये करो, ये हो जाना चाहिए. After doing it by self also, initially no manpower in automobile also. Then I used to do it on my own. Then when I started deploying the team, तब तो हम लोग team भी नहीं बोलते थे. Now the word had come as a team thanks to Mitesh, bringing that culture in me, I see him as a mentor. I keep on telling every platform, wherever I go and talk, that yes, this boss mind I have understood now in Sloyd also has come after a lot of learning day to day and dealing with the teams, And I have started realizing that no businesses can be built without a good team.
Right.
That is one thing, I want each one of you to buy, even if you have money, even if you have good concept, even if your strategies are correct. But if you don't have a right set of people in the journey, you are a failure. That is what I want to say.
Very nice. Very nice. Somebody who wants to start this kind of business, refurbishing.
Yes.
I agree, smartphone laptop is one area where, apart from this gadgets, where do you see this kind of opportunity? Do you see this kind of opportunity in furniture business, clothing business, anything? I mean, refurbishing of saris maybe. Where else do you see this kind of opportunities?
I see, as long as the return ratios, again, I would like to say that, as long as the e-commerce is running with more return percentage, there's a business opportunity. But if this is going out, then it's a difficult. See, for smartphone, we can vouch on it because we have our own buyback program too, which we will launch. We don't want to launch because it's an expensive affair. Customer acquisition is a big expensive affair in that case, and we want to leverage it right from, because the ecosystem is in this way that we are in a win-win situation where we are a liquidation partner, they need us and we need them. But in this saris and FMCGs, it all depends on how fast the Indian market is maturing and how fast the customers are maturing and they're not returning the product. Because they are now putting a hard guardrails, for the return inventories. They want to cut down and they want to flip this game. But if that is being taken care by Flipkart and Amazon, I think then there'll be a less opportunity. But still there's a use time. People
Understood.
can make money.
So you mentioned that you currently buy about 30,000 phones a month. Managing large operations, I agree. You also mentioned that people are very important, team is important, all that. But then what kind of systems have you created? How do you ensure that 30,000 phones are picked up where right value is being decided, determined? You don't overpay, because if you overpay, it's gone. Refurbishment, again, it's a big thing. Making sure that it is all refurbished in the right way. Packaging is done. Quality test is done. Otherwise, you can't sit here peacefully and talk, right?
Yes.
Such a big thing. So how
Yes.
do you build that processes, systems to manage such large operations?
See, first of all, I would say that, thanks to IT and a big thank you to my entire team, because I have all good, trustworthy people in the game. I don't have to, think twice. Even if my floor is holding a stock worth of 30 crores or 20 crores in a day of time, I don't have to worry at all. And sometimes, if somebody is coming with weaker mindset also, but once they get inside a system where there's a stringent process and good governance, people don't try to do mistakes there. So we have created an infrastructure of the floor itself in such a way. The floor is designed in such a way, and the IT is designed in such a way that 90% of the process has been taken care by my floor designing and my IT itself.
Understood. So now the most important point here is, in a business like this, you mentioned that, okay, like if you buy from a local store, there is a possibility of legal challenges. But do you still face legal challenges with Flipkart kind of brands also when
Yes.
you buy?
Yes,
So
yes.
what if someone who has sold the phone to Flipkart or Amazon, he has stolen it from somewhere and things like that? Do you face legal challenges?
Very rare, but we have an internal agreement with them. Seeing the situation, we have done an internal agreement with them where Flipkart and Amazon itself says that any such phone comes and if you have a query, give this email ID of legal team to your nearest PS and they will handle the show and they will not trouble you. Just present our bill.
The next important thing is, you have this inventory, acquire the skills. How did you made yourself, comfortable dealing with large number of people? Because your team size probably when you started was so small.
Yes.
Today, how many employees do you have?
65.
65 people team. So 65 people are doing this 18 crore revenue a month, huh?
Yes.
That's great, right? 18 crore rupee sales by just 65 people team is great.
Yes.
So, but how did you, develop those skills to manage the team, hire the right team, all that? How did you develop that? What kind of challenges you faced initially? How did you learn them?
See, hiring the right team was never a subject in our company. We have always seen 2 or 3 things in a people, because I told that this is a new company and I'm from, East and my native is Gujarat. People trusting me or seeing my company in LinkedIn or Naukri never gave me a profile. So it is all from reference, And when it comes from reference, you have to check few things: integrity, honesty, hardworking, right? All these 2-3 parameters, if you see and they are freshers, then you have to train them based on that. And the rigorous training, a good bonding, and a good understanding with them has made my all the people who are there in the journey with me from 5 years, 4 years, some are from 7 years. So that is how we have created. And now we are looking for peoples from B school, because things has gone bigger now. So we want to give the responsibility to people who are already having that talent, with proper managers and team member. They can scale it up and they can control, and then we can invest our time on more strategies. So it was never a HR, who helped out for doing a headhunting. Though HR was there, but it was only for payroll and team activity and everything.
Great. So if anybody wants to become a distributor, let's say now you are refurbishing the phones, and somebody says, no, I want to become your distributor, I'll buy phones in bulk. You gave this guarantee that, you give the capital guarantee, a buyback guarantee kind of things.
Yes, that is initially for few months. See, once the person has learned the business, and just because I've given the guarantee to give him a comfort zone, to give him an assurance that, boss, we are not here to just invest the money and you're not able to do it, then we will support you initially for 3 months or 6 months. But if person is, if he wants to, take a deep bath in the game, I don't think that, no customer will come back and say that, boss, take back my phones, because there's a profit in the game.
Understood. But these technicians who are currently there, are they on your payroll or they are outsourced partners?
No, payroll.
So all these 30,000 phones are repaid by how many technicians here?
No, see, this complete 30,000 doesn't that required.
Right.
Phones get certified. We play bulk game also. As I told you, this is a capital intensive game. So we have to divide our capital into 3 stages: bulk, back to back, then certified stock, and then refurb stock. And then we are into export business also recently started for fresh phones. From India to UAE, and then from UAE to other countries.
So what do you mean by fresh phones?
Fresh phones, like, see, online has to meet their GMS target every month, right? And if they're not able to sell the phones, they liquidate in the market.
Oh, so which means Flipkart purchases, let's say, 1,000 iPhones, thinking that they'll sell them, but they're not able to sell. So they'll liquidate even the fresh phones.
Yes.
At a lesser price.
Yes. Not at a lesser price. They will just give some discount. Apple being a very sensitive phone in price, in bulk, if they give 100, 200 or 300 rupees extra discount also, people will buy for it.
So now that you buy it from Flipkart,
Yes.
and what do you do with them?
We export it.
Where do
Because there's a requirement of Indian specs in global market. Because 13, 14 being assembled in India only, no?
Understood. That's
As an
very
Indian spec.
interesting. So once you get into a business, you'll kind of start discovering various opportunities around it. I'm
Opportunity.
Sure,
I'm just stopping Sudhir here. Why we have started export also? Because we have not gone for a funding round. We don't want to stick to only to this value creation business, because we thought that, okay, deploying some capital is giving a good revenue and taking care of the burn which is required to complete this game. That's the reason we started export also. So wherever the opportunity is, where we can create a revenue, we should focus on that. We should try to extract from all those opportunities, rather than just going and thinking for getting money on the table from the investor. That is how I think.
very nice, very nice. So, on a nutshell, now you buy these phones from aggregators, you refurbish them, and you sell it to these dealers and wholesalers and retailers. B2C, you have stopped it for time being. Now, in this entire value chain, which is the most critical one? Is it purchasing from Flipkart kind of aggregator is difficult, or is it refurbishing is a challenge, or is it distribution? The sales is a challenge. Which one is the difficult task?
Sales is not a challenge, because the major challenge is identifying the right, what you are buying as an aggregator. Evaluation of the lot is very important. And secondly, getting the refurb as per the quality benchmark is again very challenging. But if you have a good IT system available, and if you have identified a good technician, things will fall into. Now I am able to say these things very easy. But previously, before to 3 to 4 years or 5 years, this was the same thought, how do I do this? How do I do that? everything is a challenge, everything needs to be understood. But once you keep on playing with consistency and keep on involving yourself day and night and taking a deep bath, always looking for better, you will definitely get.
So
nobody can stop.
Amish, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So nice to hear this story.
Yeah.
Boss Wala. Be the boss.